Are you serious? Are you serious? Earthquake watch! Earthquake warning. Well, we've had another massive solar flare on the sun. I reported that yesterday just as it was happening, actually. And I broke that story that this was a powerful solar eruption, solar flare. It released, as we reported, an X8 class. An X8 class flare. Now, I've got the official exact size of it. It was an X8.2 class solar flare. It's an X8.2 class solar flare. This is powerful. And when you think about last Wednesday's X9.3 solar flare, which was the 14th largest in history, this one is a monster. And the CMEs are headed in our direction. And so, folks, there's about a 48-hour, maybe less than that now. I'm not sure when the CME impact will hit us. We've already had radio blackouts. Matter of fact, this massive solar flare departed the sunspot AR 2673. It erupted, of course, yesterday, producing this major X8.2 class solar flare. Now, the protons accelerated toward the Earth by the explosion, and they are swarming around our planet right now. It happened last night, causing a moderately strong solar radiation storm. The pulse of the ultraviolet X radiation from the flare, it ionized, literally ionized the top of the Earth's atmosphere. It triggered a shortwave radio blackout over the Americas, okay, right over the Americas. The blackout is now subsiding. However, an even stronger blackout of shortwave radio communications around the poles were still underway throughout the night. Also, folks, this pressure from these CMEs, coronal mass ejection, they are so strong that it's anticipated we'll have another major earthquake. The one we had last week on Wednesday brought about a 8.2 mega earthquake in Mexico, of which 65 people are dead. That death toll is expected to rise, and the aftershocks in Mexico and the super volcano in Yellowstone have continued to rumble and shaken things up. So we know that the pressure from this coronal mass ejection, known as CMEs, we know that probably with less than 48 hours, we're anticipating an impact from the initial arrival of the coronal mass ejection. And then we don't know how long that will last. We don't know exactly when it will hit, nor how long the density of it will be, and how much pressure will build. But certainly, if there's tectonic plates that are about ready to go, this will be strong enough to push them over the edge. And it depends where on the Earth that this pressure hits. And it seems like America, this, of course, the blackout was over the Americas. It seems like all of the warnings are primarily the United States and the world, but the Americas, our hemisphere. Look at it. The greatest forest fires in the British Columbia history in Canada, the biggest fires ever in Los Angeles, the whole West Coast on fire, Hurricane Harvey, Category 4, the most rain to ever fall in one single place, 49 inches of rain on Houston, leaving Houston in a total state of disaster and flooding. 70 people lost their lives, thousands had to be rescued, thousands of homes destroyed, unbelievable, unprecedented damage down there. Then another hurricane. 16 days later, Hurricane Irma ripping through Florida, tearing up the Caribbean islands, smashing into Cuba, and just causing a ton of havoc. 27 people have lost their lives in the Caribbean, 5 in Florida so far, and the damage is still under assessment. The floodwaters are raging in Daytona, they're raging in Jacksonville, and they will rise heavy today in Savannah. And there's other parts of Florida will also be flooded. Plus 6 million people without power in Florida. So those two Category 4 hurricanes hitting the United States. First time that's ever happened in a single year, and it happens this year during the 40-day warning of that total solar eclipse. Also, so you have the largest earthquake in Mexico's history in 100 years, 2 of the largest solar flares ever, 2 Category 4 hurricanes, and Kim Jong-un twice has acted out, once firing a missile right over top the airspace of Japan, and the second thing he did was detonate a hydrogen bomb so powerful that it caused a 6.3 earthquake, and it was 5 times larger than the bomb that we dropped on Nagasaki. So this is just some of the events that have happened during in the first 20 days of the 40-day warning since the solar eclipse. Now we're going to be coming up on the constellation in the heavens, and that's coming up September 23rd. That's when the alignment will be perfect. And I actually want to thank some folks that actually sent me some great photographs of this. I want to thank Gary and Kathy down in Prescott, Arizona. Wonderful letter they sent me. Great information. I've been holding this back, but I'm going to show it to you now because, of course, Gary is a astronomer. He first of all, he's a retired engineer for the electric company down there in Phoenix, Arizona, and he has got some magnificent pictures to show you. This one here is actually, that is the total solar eclipse right there, and it was in the constellation there, and you can see how it looked as the planets were coming into alignment. That was September 23rd, okay? Now this is going to be that was August 21st. That was August 21st. Here's September 23rd, and let me just get this turned. You should be able to see that. Here you see the alignment. Unbelievable. But you're looking at Leo the Lion constellation. There'll be 12 stars. There's 9 permanent stars. And then you have the planets lining up in perfect alignment. The sun then clothes the woman. Here's the woman. She's in the constellation. If you can turn it this way is another way to see it. That way, this is the crown in the constellation of Leo. It has 12 stars. 9 are permanent. And then you got the 3 planets lining up. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then you have the moon clothing the woman. There's the woman. And there is Jupiter. She's going to give birth to Jupiter. The moon is under her feet. And of course, then you have the serpent that is rising up. And the Bible talks about the beast that will rise up in the last days. So all of these things are coming together. It's quite remarkable. That's coming up September 23rd. It matches the Bible where it talks about these 2 wonders in the heavens. The woman who is clothed with the sun, the moon's at her feet. She gives birth to the planet Jupiter, which is the king planet, which is the man-child. And she has her crown in her head with 12 stars because of the Mercury, Mars, and Venus that moved into alignment. Perfect alignment. We won't see this constellation alignment again ever in history. It matches Revelation 12. It tells us the woman, and it tells us of the dragon, the beast, with the 7 heads and 10 horns that comes against the woman and against the man-child, or against the body of Christ. So that all of this is coming together now in these last days. The woman gave birth to the Messiah, and we are the body of the Messiah, or the body of Christ. So it's an incredible situation that's coming up. All of this is within the same 40-day warning for America. And if you look at all the things that's happened, I'm telling you, you got to be a heavy earthquake warning right now for the next 48 hours because of the pressure from this massive CME on the sun. Now, I'll continue to keep a close eye on it. Don't miss today's live broadcast. Starts at 12 noon Eastern. That's 12 noon Eastern at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. Everywhere else as well, including this YouTube channel. I'll also be on tonight live at 10 p.m. Eastern for Prime Time Live. We'll get full assessments of everything going on with Hurricane Irma. It continues to move up through the rest of the states. We'll continue to watch it. Tornadoes are spinning off. Bridges are out. Floodwaters are raging. 6 million people in Florida without power. There is a lot of devastation and destruction, but Florida has survived it. And so we thank God for that. I'll be back with more, folks. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're living in the last days, and we're right now on day 21. On 9/11, we're on day 21 of the 40-day solar eclipse warning for America and the world.